I have been single for 13 years since my divorce at the age of 30, and I've never been taken on a date. Oh, this is a vulnerable post.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and today we are taking a look at modern women hitting the wall. Don't forget to drop a comment, make sure you subscribe if you are new here, and let's jump into it.
I was scrolling through my FYP and I noticed all these women in their 40s. They look absolutely flawless, amazing. Their hair is done, cute outfits. And I'm like, that ain't me. I am 43 and this is what you get on a weekend. I'm cleaning, so I have a t-shirt and shorts. And my face is not done. I got lines and wrinkles. But this is what a 43-year-old single mom of 2 boys, works full-time. This is what we look like. Anybody else?
The reason why a lot of those women look quote-unquote flawless, if you're going to buy into that, is really just thanks to makeup, filters, and a lot of delusion.
It's hard going out there at an older age.
I think there's a fantasy that comes along with that. You know, like you're saying, oh, I see people that are on their second and their third marriage. But
and they're happy.
It's real. I think it's really hard. I mean, I haven't been out there for a long time, but I remember I was so happy to be out there. But it was really hard because also, as you get to be at this stage in life, you're pretty set in your ways and what you like, what you don't like, and so is that person sitting across the table.
Right.
So to find like
someone that checks the boxes
for each other, I think it's really hard. And
it's hard.
Men simply aren't interested in women who are set in their ways. It's a massive headache. And let's be honest, if you're a dude, you're going to be expected to lead. How are you going to be able to lead when women have their own way of doing things, right? It's ridiculous.
Where are all the nice guys at? Because y'all aren't where I'm at. I'm so sick of dating assholes, and I'm so sick of talking to guys and immediately getting a... I want nice, courteous, thoughtful men to come my way. Please.
Those men are quite literally everywhere, but she has already determined them to be quote-unquote unworthy.
How old are you?
Do I have to answer?
You can lie if you want.
I feel 33.
Okay. And
I identify as 33.
You identify. We got that.
Identify as 33. Yeah.
What's your relationship status?
Single.
Why do you think you're single?
Complicated.
In what ways?
Been picky and dating is hard.
She is still single because she thinks it's appropriate to identify as 33-year-olds. It's crazy to me how people are just identifying as things even though they're not those things. Like, yeah, man, I identify as 7'2". It's insane.
You think dating for women gets harder after 25?
Because a lot of men are predators and they prefer younger women.
Damn, explain why. Damn.
It's like a proven statistic. Like if you see, there's a graph that shows the preference of men as they age.
Yeah.
And for women, it goes according to their age. And for men, it stays around like early 20s.
Why do you think men prefer younger women?
Because they want somebody that they can control.
Her accusing older men of being predators is at the very least next level insulting. But here's the thing, guys. I love how, these women will always come out with these labels, but they're always fine to date the older guys when they're younger. It's always just when they stop getting the attention, then it's a problem, then they start insulting men.
I literally just got back from the worst day ever. Y'all, if you're in a relationship, don't leave. There's nothing out there in the dating field. Nothing. There's nothing out there. Make it work with whoever you're with. This is a warning. This isn't a threat. This is a warning. There's nothing out here.
You've got to love how these women think that dating would just be fun and easy, but little do they actually know that wasn't the world that they created.
What's your body count? You know it?
I don't know it. I've been such a for a time of my life.
Yes, I'm too.
I wouldn't have thought so. I don't know, but it's probably over 30.
If your body count is so high that you have to guess a number, then you're not even worth dating. Let's be honest. Like, guessing, are we serious?
Yes.
I'd say that. Because, I mean, that sounds a lot, but if you're just realistic, even if you go out twice a month when you study, like I studied for 5 years, 6 years, and I went out like at least once or twice a month, and I did have one night stands. I mean, the sum just sums up. Yeah, probably even 40, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think, but it's just a number, you know.
It's just a number.
A body count is not just a number, okay? It's one of the ways that measure a woman's character. Like, imagine this, guys. You know, you're a woman, you're out there, you go through dating, you go through life, and the men that you were previously with are just considered a number to you. You know, like, how actually just wrong is that?
I have lived everything I wanted to live. I really understood the YOLO thing, but you should be careful. There's always a risk involved, even if you have like contraception, and also physical risk. You don't know who you're going home with, who you're taking home. They can be like, men can be very physically dangerous to us. So I do not want to idolize having a lot of partners. It can also break your heart and make it more difficult to have a relationship. And if I would go back, I would like probably eradicate 80% of the men that I slept with. It was not like worth the energy or even the risk of transmitted diseases.
She never got around to including anything good that comes with a high body count at all.
I just kind of feel like I'm drowning right now with everything going on, and everyone in my life, they just automatically assume that I'm fine, and that just sucks because then no one ever offers to help. How am I doing? Oh, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. Everything is great. Me? Oh no, I'm thriving. Oh, same old same. But how are you? Let's talk about you. How are you doing?
If you tell people that you are fine or even thriving, they're not going to assume that you need help.
Life is funny. Hear me out. You go from being Superwoman, where you're working, you're looking after the kids, you're getting them to all their activities, you have dinner on the table, clean house, you're go, go, go. And then you become the invisible woman when you hit 45 and no one even notices you. You kind of go from one superhero to the next.
This is nothing new at all. This has been a thing for quite literally thousands of years at this point.
But I kind of preferred Superwoman, because this one sucks. I could literally walk anywhere. Nobody even knows who the I am anymore. The kids just kind of, yeah. I don't know. How do you find it? Did you go from Superwoman to invisible when you hit 45? I kind of just feel like I'm nobody anymore.
Men are naturally attracted to younger women, and a 45-year-old doesn't particularly fit that bill.
Single people, how are we prepping our lives in case something terrible happens to us? Hi, my name's Stacey. I'm single. I'm 44. I'm child-free. I've never been married. And recently, with all the chaos that's been going on in the world, it has just made me extra cognizant that at any time something could happen to any of us. And as I look around my house, I think to myself, who the heck is going to have to deal with this?
This is one of the reasons, by the way, why a family is so important, but of course she threw that away.
So, is it only men like under the age of 35 that have a sense of style anymore? I feel like, especially when I'm going through dating apps, it just looks like any of the men my age or even a little older have all just like given up on themselves.
I am getting on here to just share my thoughts about being 30-something and not having a boyfriend, not having kids, and not being married. I have been so sad. I've been so depressed because I thought that I would have a family by now.
Mind you, this is exactly what happens when you have multiple generations of women collectively saying that men are trash. I'm surprised we don't have like a 0% rate at this point of men doing marriages and relationships and things like that. Like the number is getting less and less, but I'm surprised we're not just at a flat zero for some of these things.
I thought that I would at least be engaged or in a relationship at the minimum, and I'm not. And I'm getting older. And I'm getting scared. Am I gonna be on here one day coming to terms that I'm just gonna be single. Like, it doesn't even sound right. I feel like I'm in such denial sometimes. Like, no, there's no way that I'm not gonna be a wife.
What she doesn't realize is that she has had more than her fair share of chances to be with a good man, certainly more than the average man's chances of being with a good woman. That is for damn sure.
There's no way I'm not gonna be a mom. And I'm like, am I being delusional, or am I just having faith, or am I crazy? Each day I struggle with this so much, and I just don't know what to tell myself. Do I tell myself, don't worry, you'll be fine, like you're gonna find somebody tomorrow or next year and be able to have kids before it's too late? Or do I tell myself, maybe you should figure out how to live life as a single woman and be happy? I don't know.
At this point, she should just start preparing for a long life by herself. To me, that's what seems realistic anyway.
The men out there also need to realize that when you're going out to meet a single mother and their kids are young, like, you got to realize all the things that she has to do to be able to go out.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm paying a babysitter so I can go out with you. And you gonna ask me to pay for half of it?
You say that like it's his fault that you a single mom. Nobody put you in that position but you and the person that you chose. So nobody's responsible for whatever you got to do to get on a date.
She leaves out the part where she agreed to go on the date, so those expenses are completely on her.
That's your business of how you need to do it. And if you can't do it, then you need to sit your home.
Absolutely not.
I'm already in the hole before I even step out the door.
Which means I got an Uber. You gonna pay for the Uber? No, like, they don't realize that there's a lot of things that a single mother has to do to be able to go out and about and do that, you know?
And what you don't realize, there are so many people in the world that don't even have these problems. So what makes you think somebody want to deal with your problems when they can go deal with somebody else that don't even have these problems? Am I tripping or no?
Let's just say that the dude was stupid enough to pay for her babysitter, which, you know, has a whole host of questions within itself, like, why in the hell would you do that? Let's be real, okay? The date most likely won't go anywhere anyway.
What's it like dating as a 50-year-old woman?
It's terrifying. Seriously, like, when I go out, I don't get anybody ever approach me. Maybe I just don't give off that, hey, I'm single, come and talk to me. But you know where is good? It's Bunnings. So Bunnings on a Saturday, that's great. There's lots of men in Bunnings. I did say to my girl, we should start hanging around Bunnings on a Sunday.
A lot of men aren't even bothering with younger women these days. I mean, like, if you're 50 and you're on the dating market as a woman, like, good luck to you. What chance do you really have at this point, especially with regards to securing a man that you might really want?
I'd like to preface this by saying that this is not a sad video. This is not a, oh, I'm so lonely video. Oh, I've been single for basically all of my 20s, and it's just kind of weird to think that I'm not going to have that, like, young, carefree love. Like, the first person I, like, truly date is probably going to be the person I marry, and that scares the shit out of me because I just want to date somebody without thinking about anything. And that window is honestly past. Like, if I meet someone, the first person I'm going to meet around my age is probably, you know, going to start talking about marriage and kids after a certain point of time. And I'm never going to have the type of relationship where it's just carefree and fun. Like, God forbid a girl wants a whirlwind romance.
They love to say that they've never had a boyfriend, but they usually leave out their body counts. I love this new, like, trend of women saying this crap, because, like, when you know how these women actually think and what they're actually saying, it just becomes so disgusting. You know, you'll have, like, a 27-year-old woman and she'll be like, yeah, I've never had a boyfriend. But it's not as good as you might think, guys, because they leave out all the situationships, they leave out all the fun parties and all the nonsense. And, you know, you start to question, okay, well, what have you been doing this whole time? And the answer is never good.
What I'm about to say might be a little problematic, and I'm not trying to be. I'm 44 years old, and I used to make fun of women who used to say, oh, I can't find a man in my 40s, blah, 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 blah. So my 30-year-old self would say, that's impossible. You're probably not looking. But now that I'm 44, I realize, like, it's kind of true. I find that a lot of men our age want younger women, and it's not cool.
They love to think that the wall will never actually come for them, but the wall most certainly catches them all.
But I'm finding they want them for a different reason. I think they find the immaturity desirable because when we were 20, we didn't know what we wanted. We were insecure. We're looking for validation. We did anything a guy wanted us to do just to feel accepted. So now that we're in our 40s and we're confident, we know what we want, we won't settle, we will speak up and say what we desire, what we want, and won't tolerate.
Men want younger women because they are fertile, so it's good for reproductive things, right? And of course, these women tend to have way fewer issues. It really is that simple. If you go and you date a woman who's 37, for example, first of all, having kids, good luck with that, simply can't happen. And then second of all, a 37-year-old woman is oftentimes going to come with a lot more problems than a woman who is younger. Like, the fact that people get up in arms about this is insane to me. You know, women wanting older men who are capable and strong and all of that sort of thing is never an issue. But if men have their own preferences, then it's this gigantic problem.
I find that it's harder to find a man who's okay with that, if that makes sense. Does anybody else resonate with this? So is it hard to find a man who will love you for your age, for your confidence, for your intellect, and for your maturity?
It's immature to be in your 40s and making demands of men while also simultaneously insulting them.
You're 30. That says it all. So you've been ran through your 20s, not a care in the world, thinking that you're living your best life. And then now that you're 30, you're thinking that you're some inspiration. Look at me, I'm running. I don't need a man. You do really need a man. You're just trying to act brave. Unlucky. You got ran through while you were younger. And now you're dealing with the consequences.
Trying to flex that you are single in your 30s, particularly as a woman, is not actually a flex. I would say it's rather embarrassing, to be honest. You know, if you want to be a woman who's single in your 30s, fine. But, you know, it's not really this massive flex that they think it is.
How long have you been single for? How old are you? I don't think so. What? Really old? Like over 45? Yes. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough from here on out. That's a tough one. 45 at this point. You're not my type. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
A lot of these women aren't ready for the truth. 45 and single is not a selling point, okay? Men don't hear this and go, wow, what a great deal for me. No, a lot of guys go, okay, why is she single at 45? You know, if she was pleasant, which is not a high bar, by the way, why is she single at 45? And of course, the answer is never a good one.
I was aging. One of my deepest, darkest desires as a woman was to become completely useless to men, invisible. You know, when they say that women over 30 have expired, that old women are undoable, I used to just dream of being completely useless to men. Because that, I thought, was when they would finally leave me alone. I'm 61 now. 61, married, a grandmother, and pretty profoundly disabled. And I'm here to tell you, they have not left me alone. The attention has changed.
Doing everything you can to be invisible to men is cutting your nose to spite your face. Like, these women who do stuff to be invisible to men on purpose, I mean, I don't think men care anyway. They just, you know, make themselves seem more ridiculous.
I'm saying this with a smile, but it's actually not at all funny. Because no, actually, they won't leave you alone. Now they're here in my comments and in the world, making sure I know every day of my life how completely undoable I am to them. It's not enough to actually be undoable. They have to tell me I need to know that they don't want to do me. And we're not talking about the young hot men. We're talking about the creepers in their 60s and 70s, making sure that I know that these unattractive men who have let themselves go and have no social skills at all don't want to do me.
If she really wants to be invisible, all she has to do is stop posting this garbage on TikTok. But let me just say this, she was probably already invisible to most men with her attitude alone. Like, you know, these women who push for, oh, I'm going to be invisible to men, really it's overkill. You know, they do all this stuff, but truthfully, men don't want to deal with them anyway, even if they didn't do all this extra nonsense.
Amazing. Can you let us know your secrets so we can avoid them?
It's a harsh truth about millennial women. A lot of them are not aging particularly well. A lot of them don't take care of themselves, and they are starting to see the fruits of that.
I find it's more challenging to date someone over 30 with a child.
I believe dating over 30 in itself
is difficult.
Is a very difficult.
Anyone I know who's over 30 and is single, I
yeah.
really feel for you.
It's a jungle out there, babe.
And I feel like as you guys get older, you get pickier
harder.
and it's harder. And
oh, that's true. As you do get older, you definitely get pickier. So dating over 30 is definitely a lot harder than everything else.
Do they honestly think that dating in their 30s was going to somehow just like be easier for them? I don't understand where they got this idea from. Probably from other women who were just lying to them.
Yeah. If you have a child and you're a full-time caring parent, you are really limited to time available to go out for these dinners and meets and coffees. That's a problem I find in my life. Obviously, I don't make the time, but also I'm very limited to time.
And then I feel like you will prioritize having your me time over going and meeting someone that you probably know is not going to work.
A single mother in her 30s is straight up undesirable, and it has been that way for literally centuries.
I need to know something because I want to know if it's just like where I live or if it's a universal thing. I just feel like men don't approach women anymore. And I want to know, is it just where I live? And I live in Rhode Island, so I want to know, like, do men approach women in other cities? Because I feel like when I talk to other women from different, like, cities, like, more, like, popular cities, men approach them. But, like, here, I just don't get that vibe. So I want to know. Because when I go into other cities, men approach me. But, like, here, it's like, I don't know. I don't get that vibe. Tell me. Let me know.
They love to blame the city where they live. They will literally blame anything except themselves.
I haven't made a pretty privilege post in a while, and I think I'm going to make one right now. You ready? I used to have pretty privilege. I used to have preferential treatment from the opposite sex, and I used to probably get a lot more attention than maybe I should have. Who does she think she is? She's not pretty, she's ugly. Have a day off, Karen. I love that name, Karen, by the way, so no shade on you guys. Looking at myself back in time with my adult eyes and understanding the true value of my youth and who I was and how it was lost on me is really funny, because I used to think that I'd never get here. What I'm trying to say to you is, one day I looked at myself and I was doing this. There was no more pretty privilege, and yeah, I wasn't getting preferential treatment anymore.
When she was younger, she was at her peak desirability. That's how it is when you are a woman. And quite honestly, even when the women get older, they still have more leverage than men, and they still manage to screw it up, which is absolutely hilarious.
Does anyone want to go home with me tonight? Anyone? Anyone? No? No? Okay, going once, going twice, going thrice. 4, 5, 6 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42. Okay, I'm done.
If that was supposed to be a setup for a joke, the punchline isn't what she thinks it is.
I want to find my husband. I want to find my husband today, tomorrow, by next year. This is it. I'm done. I am so over the whole dating, the whole game, the whole questionnaires of like, what do you like to eat? I'm like, no, I want something real. I want something with depth. Like, and I get it. It takes time to get there. It takes like mistakes to get there. But
women like this demand a husband only after life gets a little bit difficult for them, right? It's really just viewing men as service providers, not as actual people. Like, you know, when women like this say they want husbands, it's not because they're looking to be a good wife or to raise a family, really, or, you know, to care about someone beyond themselves with all their heart. No, it's like, okay, now how is she going to mow the lawn? Oh, I know, I'll get a husband. Or, okay, now I have bills or something. then that's going to justify me getting a husband. Like, they don't actually want a husband for any good reason other than they need help.
How many mistakes can I go through until I meet him? And the song that says, "Where the hell is my husband?" I get you. We all get you. I think a lot of us get you. We're looking for our husbands, and our husbands hopefully looking for us. But I'm so frustrated because I can't wait to love someone so much more than I love my dog. Like, and he's pretty cute.
She doesn't actually want a husband. She just wants someone to make her life easier. Nothing more than that.
You have to get out. You got to get out this game.
Yeah.
You can't be in a club competing with a goddamn 23-year-old at 38.
Listen, there's a lot of women out here that are in their 40s that are still, you know,
Still what?
like they're still youthful looking.
Even salt looks like sugar from a distance, baby.
Once you take off the makeup, let's be honest, those women aren't youthful looking. It's all a complete lie.
Women come to that realization and they're 32, 35, and they did a little bit of, or they were hooking for a while, or they had a little time in their 20s and maybe had a kid when they were 22 or whatever. Once they come to the realization that men don't treat you the same when you're 35 and you put on some weight, then they get angry and they want their comeuppance. There's like, no, got my master's degree. I turned my life around. I had an epiphany. Where's my man? And all the good men are talking to 23-year-olds, and women are very angry about this. One of the biggest issues I have is when a woman wants to date an older man, which most women do, it is considered a preference, a healthy preference. When a man wants to date a younger woman, he is a double standard that a lot of people have that I think is absurd.
You can definitely learn from your mistakes, but that doesn't relieve you of the consequences of said mistakes.
I have been single for 13 years since my divorce at the age of 30, and I've never been taken on a date. Oh, this is a vulnerable post. So I've dated 2 different guys at different times, obviously, about 4 to 4.5 years ago. One for 6 weeks and one for 8 weeks. One guy was always so happy to go out, but just too busy to organise everything. So I would organise it, which kind of meant then I paid for it all.
He wasn't too busy. She was just another name on his roster and he took advantage.
The second guy was really honest and he was happy to go anywhere, but he had less money than I did and felt because I had more assets that was just my job, and I was an idiot and I did it. And I think maybe because I had not dated anyone for over 10 years and all my insecurities kicked in, and I'm like, I need to do what I need to do to be able to keep these happening. Obviously, after 6 to 8 weeks, I was like, blow this is not fun anymore.
Dating was only fun for her when she was getting attention and didn't have to pay for anything. I notice a lot of these women, you know, they have complaints about dating and everything is horrible when it starts to suck for them, right? When they don't get the attention anymore, when they have to start paying for things and so on. Now we see all these complaints come out.
But now that I'm like starting to get back into this game, I've told myself that will never happen again. And I was watching The Golden Bachelor, which is like cheesy as all heck, but I'm like, it would be so nice to live in an era again, or maybe in my own era, where I met somebody who could organise, not your first date, I'm talking like when you're further in, organise something incredible for a day.
Reality television is not based in reality. I mean, come on now, and only technically counts as quote-unquote television. I don't really know why people watch this crap.
Is anybody here 30 and up and still single?
I have a 4-year-old.
That's not what I asked.
Wait,
Okay.
you're 39 and you have a 4-year-old, it's not a catch.
Dude, I didn't ask you to unpack everything. What the hell? I'm just like trying to do I was just like, it was like a rhetorical question. I didn't actually care. You see what happened there, right? I asked a very simple question and she got insecure and she's like, oh, I don't know, I'm single, I'm 39, I'm not a catch, right?
She's single, 39, and has a child, okay? Everybody knows she isn't a catch. It's not really rocket science here.
I've been telling people like, I'm okay, I'm fine. I'm okay, I'm fine. And I am. I'm okay, I'm fine. But I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because I'm like, when am I going to meet the man that's just going to get it right? When am I going to meet the guy that's just like, I'm ready, I want you, I'm going to do what I have to do to get you and to keep you? When?
Complaining that she can't get a man who's going to quote-unquote get it right proves that she is the problem. No guy wants to deal with that. If you would like to get early access to videos, weekly lectures, and case study breakdowns of human behavior, make sure you check out the members area link below in the video description. Otherwise, make sure to click on one of these videos on screen now if you enjoyed. Make sure you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.